Knicks family, what's poppin'? It is your boy. Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks go for 9 straight tonight versus the Toronto Raptors, and it seems like the Raptors are going to be at full tilt tonight. So the Knicks are going to have to be ready to put it out there, play some basketball. But you know what? The way the Knicks are playing right now, you know, they can do whatever they want to do while they're out there on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks are killing it over the last 8 games. And, you know, one of the best they've been one of the best teams in the league over the last 8 games. They've been shooting the ball from 3 like crazy over the last 8 games. I wouldn't expect anything less from them today but a win over the Toronto Raptors. And yes, I know the Raptors are fighting for a playoff positioning, just like the Knicks are. The Raptors are trying to get into that 10th seed. But the Knicks got to come out, take care of business, get to 9 straight, and then take it from there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to our panel here. We got Julito in the building. We got Kev in the building. Let's break this thing down, man. Let's go ahead and break it down. Fellas, good morning. How you feeling?
Good morning, Sim. It's another beautiful day. Well, yeah, it's beautiful right now. It was raining. I'm down here in Dallas. Well, across over here in Dallas, it was raining yesterday, but I see blue skies. You know what blue skies mean? Mm-hmm. A Knicks victory.
That's what we're talking about,
man.
What's
up, family? Shout out to the chat, Kevin, Sim, 2 of my favorite guys, man. It's good to see y'all. Happy to be back. I'm feeling good, man. 8 games in a row. I got to be in the Garden live and direct during this win streak. So yeah, I'm pumped. I'm feeling it. I got my 9 jersey on. New York never sleeps. So let's get it. We need number 9 tonight.
Let's get it. Man, it's been a crazy run, and now you see it all in the newspapers. If you watch the papers, you know, writers are like, the Knicks don't have to win the championship for this to be in, you know, a team that's, I don't want to say historic, but a team that's remembered, you know, and those type of things. And I think it's true, man, because they're just on a magnificent run, the longest run since Mike Woodson had, you know, Melo and J.R. Smith and Amari and all in when they won 13 straight to try to make the playoffs after they suffered mad injuries and everything. And, you know, the longest run since then, you know, there's something to be said for that. You know, just who would have thunk it would have been Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Reggie Bullock. Who would have thought it would have been these guys, man, that pulled it out of us? But it is, and you know, they're just coming to play every single night. They believe in each other, and it's working, man. It's working. Tom Thibodeau gave them guys a blackout day the other day. I think it was much needed, right, for them to just have a day that they didn't touch a basketball, re-energize themselves, refresh their minds, right? You know, just take the day and do whatever with your wife and children or your girlfriend, or if you're just chilling and playing video games, whatever it is, right? Just take that day and just relax. I hope that it worked. They come back re-energized. I do worry that maybe, you know, when you're in a groove, you might not want to stop. You might just want to keep going with your routine.
Some guys, not to cut you off, I apologize, but some guys got in the gym, they said last night. So, yeah, I don't know how much of a blackout it was, but they went in the gym.
Right. Now, I know. Yeah. They resumed practice yesterday, right? I think they resumed practice yesterday. Yesterday was Friday. He gave him Thursday. Yeah. He told him Thursday, don't come to the gym at all. And then they resumed practice on Friday.
They went up in the gym.
But they were still up. Yeah. But, you know, some guys still Thursday, up in the gym.
They were still in there, man. We quickly say he jumped over the gate, man. He said, I'm jumping over the gate if I have to, man.
That's a gazelle, man. That's a gazelle.
It's crazy because, you know, I was reading about it, and they said the main guys that lead the way for, you know, going to the gym every night is Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, and Emmanuel Quickly. Those are the main guys that, you know, go You know, they got like a 24-hour access pass to Westchester. You know, so they can just go in, slide their pass, and get into the gym. I guess normally somebody goes, an assistant coach, one of the lowest rung assistant coaches, you know what I'm saying, they go sit there with them while they're shooting the ball around and everything, probably get the shooting machine out and shoot. I just hope that, because, you know, like I said, when you're in the kind of rhythm that they're in, you don't want anything to come in between it. So hopefully, you know, this just worked for them to re-energize themselves and
Exactly.
yeah, you know, to just re-energize. Because I know as a basketball player, you do need those moments, and you know, you do need those moments to just kind of get away from it for a minute, and then you come back to it. And when you come back to it, you feel a little bit fresher, you know, and you feel you know, excited to be back to the game because you miss it a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think that's that's just it's just important. You know what I'm saying? Do you think it worked, Julito? You think they're gonna come back re-energized? Because I think that's gonna be a key for tonight. Because, you know, Toronto was battling for playoff position, just like the Knicks are battling for playoff position. You know what I'm saying? And if the Knicks don't come prepared tonight, Toronto's going to be ready to play. And I think they're pretty much at full tilt tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
at full tilt.
Yeah, I think you know, I think what it is this game doesn't have the playoff implications that the Hornets or the Hawks game had. So I think they are going to come in, they got rest, and they are going to come in with less pressure. And I think with this team and how they've been playing recently, less pressure just means we going to work even more, because now we get to be, you know, that Hawks game, man, every play mattered. Every play was the play. If you took a play or two off, you can easily go down 6-7 points. With this team and with less pressure, I think you're going in there a lot more cool, calm, and collected. And I think we've shown that we can dance with the Raptors. I don't believe in the Raptors, honestly, this season. I think they have some locker room stuff, you know, and I just think that we're going to go to work on the Raptors because number 9 is destined for us. You know what I'm saying? With RJ having the season he's been having, with Noel playing the defense he's been playing, with Julius Randle just being LeBron James Jr. out there, I don't see us losing to the Raptors. The Suns game I'm a lot more worried about, but of course we're going to go day by day. But the Raptors I'm not worried about. We got a day to rest, even though guys probably went to the gym on the blackout day. I'm sure they had a moment to probably have dinner with each other, create more camaraderie. You know what I mean? And now it's back to work, business as usual. And I think tonight's going to be. I'm not going to say the Raptors aren't going to give us a run for our money, because they're fighting for something a lot more than we are. But I think we're going to get a W tonight.
Yeah, and you know, the Raptors are a little bit more desperate than we are, because, you know, they're trying to get, you know, being that 10th seed. I think they're 12th right now, so they're a little bit more desperate than we are. Looking at the injury report, the New York Knicks, Miles Powell, ladies and gentlemen, Miles Powell is back in the building, at least for a short period of time. You know, he signed a 2-way contract with the Knicks on yesterday. But he's day-to-day. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Alec Burks, he's still out due to COVID-19 protocol. And then Mitchell Robinson. We already know about Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson continues to be out with a foot injury. And then for the Toronto Raptors, Paul Watson, he's out. Jalen Harris, he's out against the Knicks today. Rodney Hood is questionable. And then Chris Boucher, he's out. He's been diagnosed with a sprained MCL in his left knee.
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll be out for today's game.
He's the guy. It's always There's always a Nick killer, and he's not a Nick killer on the Raptors.
Yeah, he's that long, skinny
so
dude.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, he's that long, skinny dude that knocking down threes and blocking shots. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the Knicks. So the Knicks did something interesting yesterday. They gave Jared Harper a 10-day contract. And then they signed Miles Powell to a 2-way contract with the Westchester Knicks. All right. So according to Ian Begley, Miles Powell probably will not remain with the team. They did this as a way to get some of their Westchester guys some more money, right? So Jared Harper, he jumps up to, a 10-day contract, right, to fill that roster spot that they had. Okay, remember the Knicks still got this, $13 million in the bank that they can use, right? So I'm pretty sure Jared Harper is getting some of that, $110,000 or whatever, $120,000. And then Miles Powell, whatever that 2-way contract is, he'll get a little extra money. So basically, they're using this as a way to take care of their guys, right? Make sure that their guys, have some money in their pocket, and then we'll see what happens with Miles Powell, I guess, next year, right? If they decide that they're still going to have him or not. Andy, any thoughts about what they did there?
Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry for being late. I think it's just like you said, that they're gonna spread still the rest of the money that they didn't, sign anyone else. They're gonna split up through the whole squad, but they want to get the guys like Jared Harper probably a 10-day, then the next 10-day, and then sign them exactly like Norvel Pell, which means the remainder of the season. Plus, some guaranteed money next season. But, that guaranteed money is going to be like $70K, maybe $100,000, not more, I think, because that guaranteed money is going to chip into that salary cap space. So I'm just guessing that they just want to spread up the money, through more people than even on the roster.
Yeah. And listen, I like when teams do some things like that. You take care of your guys, make sure that they're paid. I think that sends a message throughout the league. To let free agents know, hey, we're gonna take care of you. We're gonna make sure you got what you need. You're taken care of. If you're end of the bench guy, and we have the ability to put some money in your pocket, we'll put some money in your pocket. I think that sends a good message, and it's a good culture building tactic. You know what I mean? Just to keep that culture going, and it's very, very evident that this team, they said it before the trade deadline, and they're sticking true to it now. They're not going to do anything that rocks the boat, especially right now when you're on an 8-game winning streak. They're not going to do anything that rocks the boat. You know what I mean? So, like I did a video about Lance Stevenson. People were asking about all kinds of players out there. Bring in this guy and that guy. They're like, no, we'll stick with guys that's been part of our group. Now, they had to bring in Pell, right? They tried John Henson because they needed to have, big man help. But once, so now Pell came in. Okay, he fits in with the group. They gave him a contract for the rest of the year. Yeah, perfectly. They gave him a contract for the rest of the year. And then now they're like, do we want to bring in somebody that rocks the boat? Or let's just go with somebody that we know. So that's what they did. Right? They went, Miles Powell was already with the group in training camp. Of course, Jared Harper's been with the team. So, hey, I rock with it. That's I like it. You know what I mean? They're trusting this group. They're not going to rock the boat with anything. Because just imagine if they did bring in a Lance Stevenson. I was talking about bringing in Lance Stevenson. I mean, maybe he would have fit in perfectly and brought a little bit of grit, but you don't know. It's an X factor. You know what I mean? So, they don't want any X factors right now. They don't want any variables. And I get it.
I don't think we need a guy that's in a place to prove himself, right? I think Pell fit in perfectly because he's a journeyman. He wants a home, so he's going to do everything possible, and that means help with the waters, clap it up for people during the huddles. He's going to do everything
Exactly.
he needs to do to fit in. A guy like Lance, who's trying to prove himself, he's out in China, and he's from Coney Island, so he's going to come here, and every time he steps foot in the garden, going to try to put up. We don't need a guy like that. We need a guy that's just going to play his role, and that's why Pell fits him perfectly, man.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Making good moves all over the board. Again, I just want to rehash because we kind of skipped over a little bit with the injury situation for the Raptors. I'll say it one more time, and then I'm going to look at some lineups. Paul Watson is out for the Raptors. Jalen Harris is out for the Raptors. Rodney Hood is day-to-day. He's questionable today versus the Knicks. Chris Boucher, he's diagnosed with a sprained MCL in his left knee. Right, so he'll be out for the Raptors today. So when you take a look at the lineups, though, they're kind of back with their starting lineup. Besides Chris Boucher at that center spot, they're back with their starting lineups for the Raptors. For the Knicks, we got Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Nerlens Noel. Unless, something changes, something happened during the blackout day, that's going to be your that's your starting lineup. For the Raptors, you got Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Kem Birch. Right? So they're kind of back at full strength. Of course,
they're going to miss.
They're three big guys, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam. Those guys can get it done. And OG Anunoby, he can get it done too. So, they're trying to really, really punch this thing home for the stretch run and get to that 12th seed. It's going to be getting to that 10th seed. They're in the 12th seed right now. It's going to be tough for them, of course, because the Wizards are playing really well. I think the Wizards are on a 6-7 game win streak right now. You know what I'm saying? So
7-game win streak.
Yeah. Steph, good morning to you. How are you feeling this morning, and how are you feeling about these matchups? As I just read off the lineups.
Shout out to you, Sam, Lito, Andy, Cornerstone. I feel pretty good in general, and I feel pretty good about today. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk, but I think if the Knicks come in with the same intensity we've been playing with, we should get this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, unless something has happened since I last looked at the standings, I think they're on a 4-game winning streak. And as you said, Boucher is out. Hood is day-to-day. But I think it just depends on us. It always depends on us. And if we're coming to play, we're getting that timely shooting. Randall is playing well, and he's getting some support. I think it's going to be 9.
Okay.
Number 9.
Yeah, you know what I wanted to ask you? Yesterday you did when you did the Queen's Court yesterday, you did a thumbs up, thumbs down. And you gave Reggie Bullock a thumbs up. Right? And I want to bring across the graphic that we had on the Queen's Court yesterday. You gave him a thumbs up. In the last 4 games, Reggie Bullock's been averaging 15.3 points per game, 4 rebounds, shooting 47% from the 3-point line. Right? And then you talked about some of the things that he's done, especially in that Pelicans game, and some of the timely shooting that he's been having, not only in that Pelicans game but in other games throughout this winning streak. You want to comment on that just a little bit?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Timely shooting. I mean, we all know on the panel, you can have 18 points, you have 24 points at the end of the game. But when you get those points, it's just as important as well. And if you're down and you're trying to come back, if somebody hits a big shot for you, that helps. If you're up and you're losing a lead and somebody hits a big shot for you, right? That keeps you in the game. And I was just outlining in that New Orleans game that Bullock hit 6 key shots for us that either put us up by 7. We were going back and forth with the Pelicans, put us up by 1. Obviously, the one that off the pass on Rose where we went into overtime, and then he hit another one in OT before fouling out. So, obviously, how many points you get for the game is important, but when you get those points, it's just as important. And I've been calling for this all year because Bullock would have open shots with an opportunity to cut into a lead or extend our lead, and he would miss. And lately, he's been just on point getting those timely shots.
Yeah. And I got on the screen right here what those timely shots were versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Right? You have he hit a 3 to extend the lead from 7 to 10, and that's the type of thing we've been talking about. We've got to hit those buckets. When you have 11-point lead and you can go to 14, you got to take advantage of those. He hit another big shot in the third to put the Knicks up by 4. He hit another timely shot to put the Knicks up 2 with 4 minutes left in the third. He hit a shot to put the Knicks up by 1 in the third quarter. He on the pass from Rose, he hit the 3 to send it to overtime, and then he hit his 6th timely shot to put the Knicks up 4 with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in that overtime. Yeah, he's been a big shot guy, knocking those shots down when we really need it. And that's been big, man. It's really been big, especially with Alec Burks out. And then not to mention, as we look at these lineups, he's always guarding one of the top scorers on the team. Right? Today, he's either going to be on Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, or OG Anunoby. Right? He's going to be on one of those guys. He may even switch off on to Pascal Siakam if we need him to. Right? So not only is he hitting shots, but he's always guarding one of the best players on the opposing team. Can't say enough about Reggie Bullock and what he's doing out there on the floor for us. Anybody else want to jump in and say anything about Reggie and just what you think about his play over these past 8 games?
I will. Yeah, I will. He's automatic. He's automatic. Sung by the Pointer Sisters. In case these millennials don't know who they are, they was a female group of the 70s and 80s. But he's automatic. When his feet are set, and especially with the way Randall sets him up, he is automatic. We couldn't say that in the beginning of the season, but we can say it now. And he's going to be, he is our true 3-and-D guy because he's playing, like you said, Sim, he's playing the best person on the opposing team, putting that defense on, and he's hitting his shots automatic. Not like it's, slow coming out his hand. It's quickly coming out of his hand. And I'm loving every bit of it. This is what we wanted in the beginning of the season. Now, and it's great. It's a testament to Tibbs to keep sticking with him throughout the whole season. I mean, everyone was saying, put Knox in and all this other. No, Tibbs knew what he was doing with keeping Bullock in that starting lineup. And I love every bit of it.
Okay. Anybody else want to jump in there?
My question is, okay.
Oh, no, I was just going to say really quick, there's a few things that make you have a good season or be a good player, and that's coaching, that's matchups, right? Taking advantage of your matchups. But what I think the key that is making Bullock have such a great end of the season is confidence. And y'all, I really believe the confidence came from, I don't know if y'all remember maybe like 20 games ago when Randall was doing his press conference and Randall said, every time Reggie shoots the ball, I believe it's going to go in. To have the star of your player speak so much life into you and trust you so much, I think ever since then, Reggie has been confident in his shot. He's quick and pesky, so he's able to get open because guys forget about him. I mean, I was just at the game last week, and I'm watching guys put so much attention on RJ or a Julius, or even a Quickly when he's out there, that they forget Reggie's in that corner. You know what I mean? And it's confidence. It's not being afraid or nervous to take the shot. When your team has confidence in you, every time I take the shot, they're going to be okay with it, whether it goes in or not. But when you're on a team and they're squinching every time you take a shot, or sending you to the bench every time you take a shot. It weighs on you as a player, I can imagine, you know. So the team believes in him, man. And I don't know. I mean, Claude said it the other night. I don't know how we started shooting. I had to rub my eyes. I'm like, is that Klay Thompson out there? You know what I mean?
Hey, let's not go with Klay Thompson. Come on.
I'm just saying. I mean, the numbers in the last 10 games is comparable in the last 10 games. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we've been. I mean, as a team, we've been just, you know. I mean, we've been hot. We still only shoot about 28, 29 threes a game, but over the last 8 games, we're making about, I think it was 51%, or something. You know, somewhere around there. I mean, we're just hot from the 3-point line. And it's crazy. And maybe that was the last 4 games we made 51%. I don't know, but either way, we've been killing it from 3, and making them when it really does matter. You know what I mean? And it's all those late night sessions led by Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, and Quickly. Having these late night sessions, you know, where they go into the gym every city. Kobe instilled this into Julius Randle. Instead of going out and partying, when you get to a city, go to the gym. And that's what they've been doing. You know, they go to the gym, getting the shots up, you know, and they can't practice. They haven't had a full practice since late March. They haven't had a practice.
Wow.
Haven't had a practice. So the work that they're doing on their own is what's, you know, getting the job done. You know what I'm saying? Nate, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt Reggie Bullock has revitalized his career. My question to y'all is, what do you think they value more right now, his shooting or his defense?
Both.
No, but I mean, you get to choose between one.
Question.
Well, let's say this. I think Tibbs already answered that question, right? Because there was a time in the season where he wasn't hitting the timely shots. You know, he would get, you know, he'd knock down 3 or 4 3-pointers in the first half and then go ice cold in the second half. But Tom Thibodeau stuck with him. He stuck with him because he plays defense. And you see when he's not in that lineup, you know, when he's not in that lineup, the defense struggles. You know, games that he's been out.
Right.
I don't know what the record is when Reggie Bullock is out, but I can guarantee you it's not that good when Reggie Bullock's not there. You know, he hasn't missed a lot of games this season, but when he's out, that defense struggles.
Do you think that he's worthy of us extending him when his contract's up?
Yeah, I think Reggie Bullock, Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks. I think those guys, to me, I think they got to be shoo-ins for next year. They're key pieces to this team. Yeah. They don't have to start. They can come off the bench, but I think they're key pieces to this team. You know what I mean? And listen.
What does that mean for Knox?
That means Knox stays right where he is on the bench until he proves he can take one of their spots. That's what that means. He stays right where he is until he proves that he can take one of those spots. And if he proves it, good. If not, then, you know, they'll figure it out. They have until next season to figure it out. He'll never
be the defender of Bullock. That's my argument. He'll never be the defender that Bullock is.
You know what? You don't know that.
And that's why I think he's going to keep him on the bench.
You don't know that, though.
I wouldn't say never. I mean,
because one-on-one, Kevin Knox is okay. It's really the rotations and when people are coming off screens and stuff like that he's got to figure that out. You know, so you just never know. And then it's not, you know, right now Reggie Bullock fits into this team and he's one of the cogs, right? That fits in. You never know how to, as the team grows and develops and different players come in, what you're going to need to fit to make the team work, because that's one of the reasons why this team is being so successful, because Tom Thibodeau has put people in positions to capitalize on their strengths. Right, and no matter how many points you average or whatever it is, he's capitalizing on your strengths. That's why Alec Burks, when he's here, he's been playing down the stretch because you know, he's a guy that just knows how to get to. He has good size. He can create off the dribble, so he has the ability to get it done in that fourth quarter. Right, so he's just playing guys to their strengths.
I just think if Knox is a better defender, I think that he would definitely be starting over Bullock because of his versatility, and the fact is that he can do more that Bullock can't. As far as, getting to the cup more, more athletic.
I mean, at this point, I don't know, because right now what Bullock does fits with that unit, right? The handoffs that he gets from Julius Randle, where he can pull up at the foul line. The little two-man game that him and Julius Randle have together. Those things fit. Kevin Knox doesn't have that. So even if he was a better defender, I don't think he has that same chemistry with Julius Randle, and you need those type of things. You need that within a game so that you can be successful. Kevin Knox is going to get his time one day. I'm not worried about him. If it's with the Knicks, I don't know, but he's going to get his time one day. Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to respond to Nate and then to Julito's point. Well, Nate, it's exactly the same thing we could say about Frank. If Frank would hit those threes, with the more efficient and take even those shots and take those free throw line extended jumpers, he might as well be, in Reggie's spot. And when Reggie was, out of the game in the fourth quarter, Tibbs put in Frank in his spot. So, that's as easily to say about, Knox and about Frank. They're just, situational, like Tibbs said. And, to Julito, talking about Bullock, I know he's not that kind of guy and he doesn't want to take credit, but when Bullock was weak at let's call it even weak, right, at the beginning of the season in Fantasy League, Julito picked him up. The boy hit 6 threes, 4 threes, 3 threes, and from then on he's on a stretch. So
Reggie been making my fantasy league be lit, but Andy, you beat me this week. I know why you brought fantasy up.
No. I remember that, bro. I remember because you snatched Reggie right from out of me. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's Reggie Bullock, man. I'm glad that he's having the season he's having, because when Alec Burks went out, I got a little bit nervous. I just got a little bit nervous, but he's been coming through big time for us, really big time. Yeah. Again, looking at the lineups though, I think Reggie Bullock. I don't know who he's going to guard. It's either going to be Fred VanVleet. I guess he could. I don't know. I guess he could go with Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry. Maybe he's going to guard OG Anunoby and RJ Barrett is guarding one of those guys, and either Kyle Lowry or Fred VanVleet. See, they play small, so I think that's a little bit of an issue for us, right? Because Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry are both small, so you'll probably see Elfrid Payton on Kyle Lowry, and Fred VanVleet I think is 6'4", so then maybe Reggie Bullock is on Fred VanVleet. RJ Barrett can guard OG Anunoby. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see how Tom Thibodeau chooses to, work those lineups with them being playing so small at the guard spots. I think that's going to be interesting. Andy, what do you think about that? Then I will come to Steph.
Yeah, it's exactly like you said. All of those three guys aren't the biggest in in their positions. Meanwhile, Reggie has both the strength and the height over those guys. But all of both VanVleet and Lowry play like they're really strong, right? They can even try to post you up and stuff like that. They might not take every shot from the post up, but they can pass and facilitate from that way. So, I think Reggie is going to be more comfortable, guarding a guy like Lowry. And I think, Elfrid's going to be staying on VanVleet. And, Anunoby is going to be probably guarded by RJ. They might switch for a possession or two. But I think the main, focus and the potential, matchups is going to be just like you had it on screen.
Okay. Steph?
I agree. Just the way you had it on the screen, I agree. I think they just got to come to place. You have to, it's important how you do in your matchup. That helps the team overall. So Peyton has, I'm sorry, it wasn't up. What did Peyton have, VanVleet or Lowry? He had VanVleet.
VanVleet.
I mean, yeah. I mean, basically, you have to do well in your matchups. Kyle Lowry is a dog, but Reggie Bullock is definitely up for the task. Barrett has been a better defender this year, so I think he'll do okay on Anunoby, Julius, and Siakam. Yeah, actually, I think we have the edge defensively. I think the only one I'm really worried about is Alfred and Van Vliet. His range is him and Lowry's range is unlimited, basically.
Yeah, definitely. And the Raptors are shooting 37% from three this season, and they shoot about 43s per game. So we got to be on the ball. I think that's third in the NBA, 43s per game. Julito, any thoughts on the matchups between players?
Yeah, I really like this Noel versus Birch matchup. I also had Birch on my fantasy league, so I got to really watch him throughout the year. And he's a tricky guy, right? Because he's another one like when I was talking about Bullock, where I was saying he gets missing on the end when he's out on the floor because a lot of folks don't really know him. So he's lengthy, he gets rebounds, but I don't think he can compete with Noel's athleticism. So I'm really happy with that matchup. And then, man, Siakam, he got nothing for Julius Randle tonight. I think Julius with a night of rest. Oh my God, I wouldn't be surprised if Julius goes for 40 tonight. I think Julius. It's interesting for the last two games, if I'm not mistaken. Well, before you had 40, the game I was at, Julius didn't play his greatest, right? I believe he had 16 and 12 or something like that. He didn't play his greatest against the Hornets because PJ Washington just was cooking. But I think he goes for another 40. I like when Julius is 40 because I don't see him going from 40 to 16 the game right after. I think Julius is going to have, his baby food. Baby is Gerber against Siakam.
Barbecue chicken.
Yeah, barbecue chicken. He's just not strong enough to deal with him. But I really like those guard positions, man. I think if we do have, I agree with the rest of the panel. I think your lineups are perfect. I think Reggie against, Kyle Lowry, it's really it's necessary. Kyle Lowry doesn't play his greatest against lengthy defenders, and especially guys that's in your chest the entire night. Mm-hmm. It's going to be tough for them. And man, this is our first time seeing Van Vliet since this whole situation. We haven't got to really see him play since I guess he passed on us. I don't know what the situation was, but I think we were interested in him in the offseason, and I believe he passed on us. So it's our first time we get to truly see him. And I think Derrick Rose and Payne is due for his 20-point game. He's due for one.
He's due for one. He's due for
enough
one.
To say he's due for one. He's due for one. So I love the matchup. And our bench is going to work their bench. Gary Trent Jr., I'm nervous about, and I'm also nervous because every single game there's a no-name player who goes off on us. So I don't know who that's going to be. So I'm a little nervous about Gary. But other than that, our bench is going to have a field day.
Yeah. Actually, I think we played against Fred VanVleet the first game. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, the very first. Yep,
yeah, the first time he had 25, 7, and 5, and he was 4 for 9 from the 3-point line. That was the game. I mean, it was a different. We were a different team at that time. Kevin Knox, he got 31 minutes that game. He had 16 points. We played him down in Tampa. That was the first game. Austin Rivers played 21 minutes. Mitchell Robinson played that game. Different team, different type of chemistry altogether. Yeah. Right. The second time we played him, we won 102-96. And let me see. Julius Randle had 26 points, 8 rebounds. Nerlens Noel, 9 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks. RJ Barrett had 19. Peyton had 11. Derrick Rose had 11. Alec Burks had 8. He's not playing today. Emmanuel quickly didn't play well in that game. I'm expecting him to continue to play well. Right? I think he's got some confidence. He's played very well over the past few games, in some tight battles for playoff positioning. So I think he's gonna play well. The last game, they were led by Gary Trent Jr. last game. And he had 23 points on his last game, 3 for 8 from the 3-point line. Kyle Lowry, 19. Chris Boucher had 17 points, 14 rebounds and 4 blocks. So we won't be seeing him today. Pascal Siakam had 16 points and 7 rebounds. He only shot like 28% from the field. And then they had DeAndre Bembry starting, and he didn't do anything. He had 1 rebound and 2 steals. He didn't do much. So, there's going to be it's going to be a battle. It's definitely going to be a battle because the Raptors, like you said, Steph, they are 12th in the Eastern Conference right now. They've won 4 straight. They're actually tied with the Chicago Bulls for 11th and 12th. I guess the Bulls have the tiebreaker, and they're 1 game below the Washington Wizards, who they've won 7 straight. Okay. And the Wizards are 26 and 33. So I'm glad we don't see the Wizards again this season because right now they're hot. We've already beat them 3 times, so I'm glad of that because they're hot right now. Looking at that playoff picture in the Eastern Conference, man, the Celtics lost last night. They're 32 and 28 on the season. The Hawks won. They're 30. So we're tied with the Hawks at 33 and 27. But since we have the tiebreaker, we're in the 4th seed. They're in the 5th seed. The Miami Heat, they lost. They're 31 and 29. Charlotte Hornets, they're 29 and 30 in that 8th spot. Then you got the Pacers and the Washington Wizards who round out the 9 and 10 spots. So we'll see. The Raptors did beat the Brooklyn Nets the last time they played a couple days ago. They beat the Nets. So it's going to be interesting. My keys to the game for tonight: come in re-energized, right? You had that blackout day. I think you got to come in re-energized. Hopefully they missed the game a little bit. I know it was just 1 day, but hopefully they missed the game a little bit and they come in, just come in with energy because the Raptors are going to come in with some energy. They're trying to get back into that playoff scene. They're going to come in with energy. They always come in with good defense. We got to defend the 3. Like I said, they're 3rd in attempts in the league. They shoot 40 per game, and they shoot 37% from the 3-point line. Gary Trent Jr., Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, all of these guys can get hot and knock it down from 3. So we got to make sure we're on point. Guarding the 3-point line today. We got to finish with a rebound. Toronto was 28th in the league in rebounding. I think they averaged like 41 rebounds per game. So we got to make sure we finish the defense with a rebound.
About Gary Trent.
Yeah. Finish the defense with a rebound and get offensive rebounds. We haven't been doing that well lately. We got to hit the boards, get some offensive rebounds, so we can get some second chance points, negate their ability to get out on a fast break. All right, especially if they decide to go zone. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. If they decide to go zone, and it forces us to shoot threes, then we got to get rebounds. We got to get offensive rebounds, or they'll be out on a fast break. We got to execute our offense through tough defense. We know that they can play tough defense, tough, physical, grinded out type of defense. We need to execute our offense through that defense. We don't normally do a good job. We start to get stagnant and go one-on-one when defenses get really physical and they're grabbing and holding and pushing and those type of things. We start to go one-on-one. I want to see us execute through tough defense. And then against the zone, I think we need to move the ball with pace. Right? And I don't mean, there's 2 ways when I say pace. 2 ways. One, if you can get the ball off the backboard, if you get the rebound, they're probably going to be man anyway. Right? It's hard for them to set up in the zone unless you walk the ball up off a rebound, which we've been known to do from time to time. Anyway, but if they score and we're getting the ball out of bounds, and they're coming back and they're getting back on D to set up in the zone, if we can get the ball out, push it up the floor, and try to beat the zone up the floor, maybe we can get an easy bucket. If not, when I say with pace, that means swing the ball, make the defense rotate, make those gaps open up by swinging the ball. Right? When we pass it and hold it and wait, we let the defense reset. So we got to move the ball with pace. Swing it, pop, 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 pop. Find the person shooting the gap, get a shot up, crash the boards. Same thing. Pop, pop, pop. Find a person shooting the gap. Attack the zone if you have the chance to. You know, if you can dribble, drive, penetrate into one of the gaps, you can cause the zone to collapse and then kick it out to a wide open three, or maybe you get the lane. But we got to move the ball with pace. We can't stand stagnant. You know, if we're stagnant, we're going to be in trouble. On the season, ladies and gentlemen, the Raptors, they average 112 points per game. The Knicks are averaging 106.7. And that is climbing. Let me tell you, that's climbing. Over the last 4 games last week, I think the Knicks averaged like 121 points per game over the last 4 games. Now, of course, that's due to a couple of overtime games. The Knicks are averaging 45.7 rebounds per game. The Raptors, 41.7. The Knicks, they average 21 assists. The Raptors, 24 assists. 7 steals for the Knicks, 8.4 for the Raptors. 5 blocks for the Knicks, 5.7 for the Raptors. Both teams around 13 turnovers per game. Both teams shooting about 45% from the field. The Knicks shoot 38% from 3, while the Raptors shoot 37%. But that's on 43-point attempts, that 37% is. The Raptors are shooting 82.7% from the free throw line, while the Knicks are shooting 77%. The Raptors average 42.8 points in the paint. The Knicks average 44.6. Both teams around 12 or 13 second chance points per game. The Raptors average 14 fast break points, while the Knicks are averaging about 9. The Knicks are led by Julius Randle in points, rebounds, and assists. And the Raptors are led by Pascal Siakam in points, Siakam in rebounds, and Fred VanVleet in assists. And then Chris Boucher, who's not playing, leads them in blocks. Nerlens Noel, he leads the Knicks in blocks. I don't know how much Kem is a shot blocker. Julito, you might know a little bit more about Kem.
He's more of a rebounder, not really a shot blocker.
More of a rebounder, so he doesn't really block shots.
Yeah, he's no Boucher.
Say that again?
He's no Boucher.
Oh, okay.
He's not.
Okay.
He's not that dude that you were just saying.
Right.
Not
Right. So
Chris Boucher.
Yeah. So we may be able to have some. We may be able to get to the rim without worried about a shot blocker tonight or today, this afternoon. You know, it's possible. Anything you like to add to keys to the game? Steph, I'll start with you. Then I'll come around. I got you, Kev. I'm going to come around the board. I got you.
Can you put it up again, Sam?
Yeah. Let me swing that on over here again. Keys to the game. There we go.
No, nothing I want to add, but what I would like to highlight is that last one, moving the ball with pace versus the zone. It kills me watching the Knicks against the zone, holding the ball on each pass. And I think that if they're able to move the ball quickly, we're shooting the 3 better. You pass the ball quickly, you get those open shots, you hit those 3s, they're going to come out the zone. Right?
Yeah.
If you're struggling against the zone, you're allowing them to reset because you're holding the ball. Now your players are not getting open shots. We're missing them. They're going to stay in it longer. So moving that ball quickly and hitting the shot will cause them to come out of the zone. So hopefully they'll do that today.
Yeah. Kev?
Yeah. This will sound. The person I was really afraid of out of all those players that you named is Boucher, because when we were going to the basket, he was blocking shots against us, and it was like, and he was scoring as well. I mean, this guy can score. So yeah, you got your Siakams, yeah, you got your Lowrys, yeah, you got your Van Vliets, and now Trent. I forgot about Trent. This guy right here, he's going to be Boucher. He's going to be a bona fide player in this league and for them for quite a while.
He's out today, though.
But
Yeah, he's out today.
He's out today, so that's something that we don't have to worry about. So the basket, for us getting to the basket, it should be we should have it a little bit more at ease. We should have an easier time getting to the basket and not have to worry about it getting blocked, as opposed to them having to worry about us because we still have the blockless monster in Lawswell. That's what I'm calling him now, the blockless monster.
Is Taj back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe
Yeah,
Taj is back.
Goggles. He's going to have his goggles on.
Shades.
Oh,
Guys
yeah,
gonna
yeah, I
have
do remember
shades.
that.
He's from Brooklyn.
Shades.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, this is going to be a physical game. Hopefully, it doesn't have. I think there was a different type of physicality with Atlanta. You know, it was physical, but it wasn't the type of physical that it's going to be today, right? You know, I mean, versus Atlanta, there was just a lot of limbs flying around, smacking people in the face.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a different type of physicality today. The Knicks going to have to match that physicality, which they can, and intensity. And I think they know that, though. They've grappled with this team twice this season. The series is tied. Another game here where, you know, we need to win that season series just in case. So we need to take care of that tonight. Julito, man, anything you want to add to those keys to the game for tonight, for today?
Yeah, I said it earlier. I just want to emphasize the fact that we just can't allow a other to go off on us, man. And I was looking at the chat. Somebody was talking about someone on their team named Gillespie who had 5 blocks last game. That's another, right? That's the guy you don't. Every Knick game there's a guy I've never heard of who gives us at least like 12 timely buckets that it can sometimes be the difference in us winning or losing. And so if it's this kid Gillespie, let's contain him, right? Let's make sure it's going to be a playoff atmosphere. So I'm sure they won't go too deep in their bench. So I'm not worried, but I'm less focused on a guy like Gary Trent Jr., man. He has what it takes to really go off on us, 30, easy 30, right? Because he's just a lot quicker than our guards, and he just is pure scorer. Let's keep the others contained and make sure if anyone goes off, it's a Siakam, it's a Kyle Lowry, it's a Van Vliet. And if we're able to contain the others, I think we win easily by 15.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny, Lito, you mentioned about those players that we don't know about. Their backup point guard, I think his name is Flynn or something.
Malachi Flynn.
Yeah. Remember he was doing a comeback against us. We got to contain him as well. He's another dude that we got to contain.
Yeah.
And he's playing pretty well too.
He is. And Freddie Gillespie, he played 23 minutes against Brooklyn. He had 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 blocks. So we will, we'll see. We'll see what he does against us today. He's 6'9", 245 pounds, power forward type player. So we'll see what he does. And yes, I remember Malachi Flynn was frustrating me the previous game. I do want to give a shout out to G-Man. Thank you for the super chat. He said, it would not be right if I did not say hello to Cornerstone. He said, this is my good morning. He said, complete your thought, please, Kev. So, complete your thought.
Hey, you see, man? You see how the hate is real, man? You see how the hate is real?
I laugh every time I watch every show, even though I haven't been on in a while. I watch every show. Y'all banter is so hilarious, man. I'm
telling you.
Comic relief.
I'm telling you. Hey, Nate, go ahead. Do you have anything you want to add to those keys to the game?
Yeah, I think the main key, number one key for this game is saying don't let
we're losing you, Nate.
I disagree. I think contain Kyle Lowry because he's the engine that makes that team run.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? The engine that makes that team.
Yeah. We lost you for a second. I think you're back. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Contain Kyle Lowry because he's the engine that makes the team run. And if Kyle Lowry is getting off and going crazy in the game, he's going to have others involved too. So, but if you contain him and you focus on everybody else, the Raptors are going to struggle because when Kyle Lowry's going on, the team's going on. When he's not doing well, they don't win and they struggle.
Okay. All right. Agree with you there. Andy?
Yeah, I got 3 points here. The player I'm most afraid of is Gary Trent Jr. because, he might not be the starter, but he can go off and he can score in bunches. And, if he's going to be coming off the bench, they will put the ball in his hands and let him go versus the whole Knicks defense. So, as far as he doesn't catch fire, I think we're going to be safe, because I think we can contain the rest of those guys, to not to the averages they have, but at least, to, responsible points or whatever. So I think that's one thing. The other thing, it's not like I'm scared of Cam Birch, but I think he's one of those, I like to call these players farmers. They don't have any finesse, but they play with really physicality and they're really strong, right? So, he might crash the boards for them and get those rebounds. And let me remind you, he was playing on the Magic, if I'm correct, this season. He got cut and he picked a team that he wanted to sign because he had multiple offers, right? So he picked the Raptors. I think he might be one of those dark horses on the Raptors. And to the last point, which Steph already, said about moving the ball in the zone, I think the Knicks are doing a better job. I already pointed out a few shows ago that we're trying to break the zone through RJ playing at the free throw line, and he's either passing, the ball from there or trying to get to the hoop. But also, what I noticed last couple of games, when Julius has the ball and he's doubled by the center, he's trying to pass off the ball to Nerlens Noel, and he sometimes gets an easy dunk or two a game. Just from an assist from Julius. So I think they're going to try to, go through Julius, breaking up the zone, passing to Nerlens if he's going to get, doubled by Birch.
Yeah.
That's the things that we got to look out.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is.
I think, Kev, you should write it down, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 12:40. The game begins at 1 p.m. I'm going to let you go ahead and start getting yourself situated to watch the game. Whatever you got to do. If you got to go get some, get some snacks, get your beer, whatever you got to do. Let you go get yourself ready to watch the game. Begins at 1 p.m. It is on ESPN. So it's a nationally televised game. We need the Knicks to show everybody once again the reason why everybody's talking about us and the city is buzzing. Any last words you want to add before we get out of here? Andy, I start with you. Now come around the board.
Yeah, I hope this is going to be a W. I'm not going to say barbecue chicken because, Karim's not here. I don't want to make him hungry, but I think we're going to get a W this game. And I hope so. And, just to point out, because people were saying that Elfrid Payton is due to a great game, I think he's going to surprise us versus the Suns. He's going to go out versus CP3, and he might be one of the keys in that game because, CP3 tends to be a great floor general. He's also a good defender, but I don't think he's even, losing sleep over Elfrid Payton playing versus him on offense, right? And Elfrid tends to get those good games versus people that underestimate him. So I hope it's going to be versus the Suns game, and he's going to be the key for us to get a W versus the Suns even.
Okay. Yeah, he's definitely due. He's due for one. The chatter about him hasn't been too bad because we get on a winning streak. But normally when the chatter starts to get real bad, all of a sudden he comes out and, has 3 or 4 games where he drops 20 points and 5 rebounds or something like that. We'll see.
I'm going on him. Yo, Elfrid Payton is trash.
Right.
Trash.
Right.
What I will say, I know you're going in order. I apologize. What I will say about Payton, though, is when I was at that last game, I was sitting out too far from the bench. His attitude on that bench is so horrible, bro. He gets out the game. He goes to the end of the bench. He doesn't go in any huddles. What I love is that it's not affecting the team. I feel like the team is just going like, oh, well, you ain't going to be on the team next year anyway. Right. But it's so bad, man. In person, it's horrible.
Yeah. Now, Julito, was that the game that you were at? Was that the one where we got the steal, he got it, and was coming down the court, and he looked off?
Yeah.
But guys,
I was at 2 games in the last 2 weeks. So, in the last 3 weeks, I believe. I was at that game when he did the steal. He looked off RJ Barrett, and RJ was frustrated. In his face, he was frustrated. But I was at the other game where he did this. He did the steal, and I was frustrated. I was like, "Why would you do that?" Blah blah blah. But then he passed it to Reggie in the corner, and I was like, "Oh." So when we do go in on Alfred, he does something well. So like I said, Alfred is trash.
let me point out something about Alfred's sitting at the end of the bench and stuff like that. Let's remember, because due to COVID things, they have to go out to sit out the break after they get on the bench. They gotta go sit out way out if they want to sit out without the mask. So maybe he's just, he rather catch a breather or whatever. And then if he gets, called up, he can go straight to the game. If he wants to sit with the team, like, hand to hand, he has to have a mask on. So, maybe he's one of those guys that doesn't just like to have a mask on.
But it's also, I watch him in the huddles too. He never comes into the huddles, especially at the end of games. He never goes into the huddle with the team. He stays on the sideline with his hands behind his back, like he waiting to size up an opponent to knock him out or something. It's his energy's bad. So, but I agree with you that is new information I didn't know. But his attitude is horrible.
Yeah, I never see him conversing with any of the other guys. Giving them our young guys advice or anything. You ever see Quickly go to him?
Kev, because you don't watch Cornerstones, bro. You only watch Cornerstones, I mean. He's not a Cornerstone, so he don't pay attention to him.
Go ahead, Steph.
I'm disappointed the game is on ESPN. Hopefully Doris Burke and Brino get the game because they know the Knicks, and it's a little better. I appreciate the exposure though, but I do like the home team when I'm watching the Knicks. And I think when they're on ESPN, they don't even broadcast on MSG. Is that correct?
Yeah.
No, they did last game. They did last game.
Yeah.
Last game they did what?
So I was just about to check.
I will
just about to check for you.
If it's on MSG, then I will prefer that.
Yeah,
I think
it is on MSG as well. It is.
It is.
Yep.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah. But if it's Breen and Burke, I might watch it on ESPN. I will see.
Okay.
Sometimes I do like to see what the national media is
right.
saying.
Right. And Kev?
Hey, I'm going to drop a lyric from you from my group, Black Sheep. Engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. If that train falls off the track, which it won't,
pick it up.
Pick it up.
That's
what we're doing today, man. That's all we're doing. Engine number 9. I think we're going to, again, the body of work that the team has put forth is just incredible. And that's why I just think the sky's the limit for us. It really is. And starting with this, with this game, I think it's really showing our character. It's showing the force that we have, and we're not going to be disappointed. No matter where this journey is taking us, for this year, we can say that we were really proud of these guys.
Yeah, no doubt. And Julito?
Sam, excellent job as always. Always a pleasure to be with y'all in the chat. Steph, I'm saying it to you now in person, live. Congratulations on the Queen's Court. I've been watching. Excellent job. Y'all are doing great work over there. If y'all haven't watched Queen's Court yet, go and catch up on the last 2 episodes. And ladies, please join her. I'm gonna see if my girl could join because she her knowledge of the Knicks is. She a part of the bandwagon now. I will say that. So she knows.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up.
That would be great.
Yeah, congratulations, Steph. And number 9, all I gotta say, man, I'm wearing it for the rest of the day, man. Number 9. We're not losing. We're at home. I was just saying in another chat that we're really good in the matinee games, man. We've been playing really well. We've only lost 1 all season. So knock on wood. I think it's just going to be a game where we get to really, have some more playoff intensity in the Garden, and get ready for our, the Suns, man. I'm ready. I think Julius Randle's going to have an amazing game. I pray Alfred Payton for his 15 minutes he's going to play tonight. He can contain one of their guards, and we need quickly to go off, man. We need Obi. I'm happy I'm not bashing Obi anymore, but I still want to see some more from him. You know what I mean? So tonight is an opportunity. He's going up against a Gillespie, a guy who we don't even know. So it's an opportunity for Obi to go off. So let's get number 9. Let's get number 9.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time. And just quickly, before I get out of here, just a quick recap of the keys to the game. Today, in about 10 minutes, keys to the game. Come in re-energized. They had a blackout day. They need to use that. Hopefully they missed the game. They come in ready to ball against a tough team. Defended 3. Remember, the Toronto Raptors, they shoot 40 attempts a game. They're 3rd in the league in attempts. They shoot 37% from the field, from the three-point line. We got to finish with a rebound. The Raptors are 28th in the league in rebounding at 41.7 rebounds per game. We need to dominate on the glass. We need to execute our offense through tough defense. They play tough physical defense. Sometimes we get stagnant when we play tough physical defenses. We need to make sure we're executing through that toughness. Then we got to move the ball with pace versus the zone. We can't pass the ball, stand there and hold it, because then the defense shifts. They'll get reestablished. We need to swing the ball, pop, 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 find somebody shooting the gap, let them score. Swing the ball, move the ball with pace versus the zone, ladies and gentlemen. If we do these things, we'll give ourselves a chance to win today. Let's go get number 9, ladies and gentlemen. And as for that, we're going to get up out of here. I appreciate you all. Enjoy the game, and we'll be back post-game. Peace.